In this video, we're going to dive into full page forms. To get started, go ahead and click on the Forms tab at the top of Flodesk, and then click New Form. Here on the left, you will see all of the different types of Flodesk form templates. We're going to go ahead and select Full Page. Now, full page forms are unique because they create a URL for the form. This means you do not need to update your website or even have a website to use these forms. Simply create the form and the URL will be generated for you. I'm going to go ahead and choose a simple template here at the top. And then it's going to ask us what segment we want to connect our form to. Let's say this is a form that will allow people to sign up for my newsletter. So I'm going to go ahead and add them to my newsletter segment. Click Save. Once in the builder, we're going to customize this form. I'm going to come over here, select the image. And you can see here, I can choose an image from my computer, from Unsplash, Giphy, or even connect it to my Canva account. I'm going to run over here to Unsplash and find some stock images. Next, I'm going to go ahead and update the text and then get to customizing. When I click on the different sections of the form, you'll see here that the right-hand panel updates for those different settings and customization options for that piece. If I want to change the font of this header here, I simply click on the header, click on the font, and then choose which font I want to use. I can adjust the size, the color, alignment, the letter case, and also the spacing. I can do this for each of my sections. When I click on the boxes, I have a few different options here. I can add an additional field, like if I want to collect last name, and then reorder the boxes to make sure it's in the order I want it to be in. If I have custom fields set up in Flodesk, I can also add that custom field here as well. The information that they type can be mapped to that custom field that I created. If I want to remove a field, simply click the three dots and click Delete. Keep in mind, since this is for your email list, you have to keep the email address field. Now for these boxes, if I want to adjust the font, I simply click the Font tab, and here I go. Make changes to the color, the size, the font. Now these text boxes also have style changes here, and I can adjust the style of these boxes. So if I want them to be rounded or if I want them to have a fill color, I can do that here as well. Lastly, let's check out our button. Go ahead and click on the button. And here you'll see some style preferences as well. We can also make these rounded and make any adjustments that I want to make here. If I want to change the font, simply click on the Font tab and make any changes that you want to make. If I want to change the button text, simply click on the button and type in what you want the button to say. Now there are a few other settings that you can turn on with forms. If you click on the background of the form, you will see a few options here on the right. The first is for form preferences. This introduces another question to your form and allows your audience to segment themselves into different segments. This is a great way to sign them up for different offers that you might have or get to know your audience. When I select the options, I can come over here to the right and modify them. When I create an option, I can add it to a segment. So, for example, if they want to hear about shop updates, I want to make sure to add them to the segment Shop Updates. Then, when I have updates about what's new in my shop, I have a segment that I will be emailing. Form preferences are multi-select, so your subscriber can click more than one, and whichever one they check, they will be added to that segment that is attached to that answer. Just like the other sections, if I want to modify my font, I can click on the font tab. If I want to modify the style, like these little buttons, I can do so here as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on the background again. The next setting I have here is the image on mobile. So if I come up here to my mobile preview, I can see what this currently looks like. If I want to include that image, I can go ahead and toggle it on, and it will be added to the top of the form. Also, in these settings, I can change my background color if I want something to be a little bit different here. And I can also change the width of my form itself. Once my subscriber clicks join the list, they will see a thank you screen. I can click on the thank you tab here up at the top to customize this. Now, here in the thank you tab, I have a few different settings. First, I have the option to redirect to a URL. So if I want to send them to a thank you page or send them to download their freebie, I can do so right here. I simply toggle this on and add the URL I want to send them to after they submit the form. I can also enable form sharing. This will add a button here to the bottom that allows them to share this form with a friend. This is a great way to spread the word and get more subscribers on your newsletter. Lastly, you'll see this section for the thank you text. We have a couple of options here ready for you, but if you would like to create a custom message, you can do so here as well. Simply click type your custom message, come over here, and type away. Just like the other sections, if I want to make changes to the font, I simply click on the font tab, and I'll be able to make any changes here. Next, let's go check out our form settings. There's a few different options in here. First, at the top, we have double opt-in. Double opt-in is a great way to ensure that your subscribers actually want to be on your list. This is also a great way to prevent any spam or bad emails from entering your email list. When double opt-in is turned on, they will receive an email that requires them to confirm their email subscription. Next, we have the notify me when subscribers opt into this form. So if you want an email every time somebody subscribes, turn on this setting and you'll get those emails. Next, you have your segments. And you'll see here we have our newsletter segment that we chose earlier. You can have multiple segments attached to a form. So if I wanted to add somebody to a newsletter segment, but also another segment, I can simply add the segment right here as well. If I ever need to change the segment, this is where I'll go to do so. Next, let's go to our link tab. Because we created a full page form, a URL will be generated for this form. Here, you can customize the back end of that URL. Come over here, click on edit, and I'll update it to something a little easier to read. In Flodesk, you have your Flodesk handle. This is the first part of your Flodesk URL. If you haven't already customized that, you could go ahead and click edit in my account. And if you want this to be the page that people go to, if they simply go to your Flodesk handle, you could go ahead and toggle that on here. Next, we'll click on the link preview tab. This is where you're going to modify your link preview settings. So if instead you want to put a picture here and not the Flodesk logo, you can simply come over here and choose what you want to add. There we go. I can also update the title and the preview text here if I'd like to. This way, when I share this link on Facebook or any other platform that generates a preview, I will be able to have the custom preview that I've created. Now, before we start sharing our new form, there's one more thing that I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Flodesk logo here. And here on the Forms tab, I want to make sure that I name this form. This makes it very clear what form I'm looking at in my form analytics page. There we go. If I want to share the form, simply click share. And I will have my URL here, as well as some other options for sharing. If you ever need a QR code for your full page form, simply click download QR code and we'll generate that for you right here. And there you go. You are ready to start building your email list without a website or any website changes needed.